Right, good morning, class. It's great to share with you again. I'm still your host, teacher Mota, which is top, taking you through entrepreneurship education. The last time we met, we were looking at the three-column cash book. Remember, we introduced the two-column cash book where we had two columns for amount, that is cash and bank. Then we also went ahead and introduced the three-column cash book, where we have the discount column and then cash and then bank, hence the name three-column cash book. So today we are only going in for another example under the three-column cash book, so that after today's interaction, then we can switch to another subsidiary book, which is the petty cash book. So hopefully by the end of today, you have mastered how to record in the three-column cash book. Basically, the discount columns, because that's the only new column there. Then after the discount columns, you can also open up the discount accounts in the ledger, in the general ledger. Then also, how do you record the discounts in the respective personal accounts under the relevant ledgers? So that's what we are going to discuss for this morning. Okay, so let's go through some of the examples. I'll request you to pay attention as I read out a transaction. You put it down, then we record as a team. So remember our three column. You begin with the title, which is in 3 lines. The first line capturing the name of the business. The second line, the type of book, which is now 3-column cash book. And then the last one, the period for the month of this and that. So here we have a question which says, enter the following transactions in Mafabi's 3-column cash book. Implying that now our entrepreneur, the business name is Mafabi. Enter the following transactions in Mafabi's 3-column cash book. So that statement you capture the name of the business, which is Mafabi. The type of book, 3-column cash book. That one you put it in the second line. Then you say 3-column cash book. Then you need to look for the period. And then it says balance it off with the discount accounts in the general ledger as on June 6, 2020. So implying that now the month we are dealing with is the month of June. So you say for the month of June 2020. For the month of June 2020. After writing your title already, you know you have a tick there for a correct title in 3 lines. The business name, the type of book, and then the period. Then the next thing to do is to name the different sides. You say debit and then credit. Debit on your left hand side, credit on your right hand side. Then you proceed and draw the respective columns. Draw the respective columns. So you have your date column, you have your details column. I believe you know these columns by now. And then you have the folio, you can abbreviate as F. Then you have the discount. Which discount we put on the debit side? So the debit side, you call the discount allowed. Then you have your cash and then bank. Repeat the same columns on the credit side. You have the date, the details. You have your folio, an abbreviate folio. Of the folio. Then you have your discount. So this time around, discount what? discount received on the credit side, and then you have cash, and then the bank column. If you guys don't have enough space, but make sure you space your columns very well so that you don't over squeeze the information there. So you have the date, details, where you have amounts, you indicate the units to be used. And since we are in Uganda, most of the time the units to use, those are shillings. So you come and put shillings in the respective amount columns. That is the discount columns, cash column, and then the bank column. Okay. Then you can also go ahead and indicate the month and year in the date column. 2020. June 2020. So there you are set to start recording in your 3-column cash book. Now all you need are the respective transactions. All you need are now the respective transactions. Then you start recording in your 3-column cash book. Okay, so let us begin with our first transaction. The first transaction class, it says June 1st, cash at bank, 5,000. June 1st, cash at bank, 5,000. Still on the same date, June 1st, cash at bank, shillings, 10,000. June 1st, hope you have put it down. June 1st, cash at hand, 5,000. Still on the same date, June 1st, cash at bank, 10,000. Because it is an amount on the first date of the month, money which is at the bank account and also money in cash form within the business premises, then that's one we remember, you call it the balance what? The balance brought forward. That is our balance brought forward. So you go ahead and record it as a balance brought forward on your debit side. So brought forward, you put in the folio column. Cash was 5,000, and then bank 10,000. Bank 10,000. We have recorded that transaction on June 1st. June 1st, cash at hand 5,000. Cash at bank 10,000. That is a positive balance. So that's why you record it on the debit what? On the debit side of your 3-column cash book. Then you proceed to other transactions. June 2nd. June 2nd, received the cash from Wilson. Less 4% cash discount. Received cash from Wilson, less 4% cash discount. And the amount received from Wilson was 6,250. If I can borrow some space here. So received cash from Wilson, less 4% cash discount. And the amount is 6,250. 6,250. The discount is 4%. So if you received that money, that's how much you're supposed to receive from Wilson. But then, because you're receiving money, that means you're going to debit. And it was cash. So that means your cash column is supposed to receive some money, the cash column. But you're not going to receive all the 6,250 shillings. No. Instead of Wilson giving you 6,250, you allowed Wilson a discount of 4%. So implying that you need to calculate the 4% discount of that amount, 6,250 shillings. So can we all get our calculators? Say 4 divided by 100 times this amount you're supposed to get from Wilson, which is 6,250. So how much do you get? So you have your transaction. When you get 4%, you get a discount of 250. So you have a discount of 250. So now you can come and record on second. Details, you record the account where the money is coming from. So the money is coming from Wilson, because it said received cash from Wilson, less 4% cash discount. So the discount allowed to Wilson is 250 shillings. So if previously Wilson was supposed to pay you 6,250, you have allowed Wilson a discount of 250. How much money are you receiving from Wilson? So implying that you subtract 250 from 6,250. Then you remain with a balance of 60,000. You remain with a balance of 6,000. You have recorded that transaction on second, received cash from Wilson. So that when you add the two, 250 plus 650, it has to go back to the previous original amount before the discount. Okay, so that transaction is done. Let us read another one. The next transaction says, June 3rd paid Musa by check. June 3rd paid Musa by check, shillings 6,500. June 3rd paid Musa by check, shillings 6,500. Hope you have captured that transaction. June 3rd paid Musa by check, shillings 6,500. Because you are paying someone, you are paying, that means you are giving out money. You are losing. So that means you go and record on the giving side, which is the credit side. This time around, the transaction doesn't have any discount, so there is nothing to adjust. So you simply go and record your date on 3rd. You paid Musa, that means in the details column you have there Musa. And you paid Musa by check, that means it's the bank column which is losing. So 6,500, you write it in the bank column on the credit side. Okay, so we move on, we look at another transaction which says on 4th, that is June 4th. June 4th, it says paid rent in cash. Paid rent in cash. Shillings 6,750. Paid rent in cash, shillings 6,750. You are still paying out money. You are still paying out money. So you go back to your credit side of the cash book and then you record on 4th. You paid out money, was in form of rent and cash from how much? 6,750 shillings. 6,750 shillings. These are similar transactions I've been recording when it came to the 2-column cash book. So once you meet such, then the 3-column, the transactions, they are the same. The only change we get is when you are recording discounts. So that's all you need to master when it comes to the 3-column cash book. How do you record the respective discounts? Then we have another transaction on 5th, which says, received a check from Lukia. Received a check from Lukia. You are receiving money, but in form of a check, implying that your 3-column cash book is going to gain. And because it was by check, that means it's the bank what? Bank column which is going to gain or receive. So you come and record. There is no transaction either. Received a check from Lukia on 5th. So you come and write 5th. Then you say Lukia. Then you move to the bank column and put there the respective amount, which is 6,500. Okay, so there you received a check. Still on 5th. Still on 5th. The transaction says, paid Juliet's account by cash. Paid Juliet's account by cash. Less 2% discount. Paid Juliet's account by cash. Less 2% discount. 9,500. So originally, Juliet is demanding us shillings 9,500. That's what Juliet is demanding us. And now we are paying her. We are paying Juliet. So that means our cash book is going to give out money. And we are paying by cash. So implying that it's the cash column to be affected. However, we are not going to pay Juliet all the 9,500. No. We would have paid her that much, but she gave us a discount. So we received a discount of 2%. Received a discount of 2%. If we received a discount of 2%, that means you're going to get 2% of 9,500. So you get your calculator and then get the discount. 2 divided by 100 times 9,500. Times 9,500. So the amount you get is 190 shillings. 190 shillings. This is the discount received at that stage. So when you get the difference, you remain with 9,310. So now you can come and record. On 5th, you gave out money to Juliet. Gave out money to Juliet. And then Juliet gave us a discount of 190 shillings. Implying that the actual money we paid to Juliet was 9,310. So that when you add 9,310 plus 190, it goes back to 9,500. It goes back to 9,500. Okay, let us look at our second last transaction for this question. And it says, on June 5th, received the cash from Anita. June 5th, received the cash from Anita. Less 2.5 discount, and the amount we're supposed to receive from Anita was worth shillings 8,000. So received cash from Anita less 2.5% discount, shillings 8 what? 1,000. Shillings 80,000. So you are supposed to receive 8,000 from Anita on this date, on 5th. You're supposed to receive 8,000 from Anita on 5th. But then Anita was allowed a discount. You gave Juanita a discount of 2.5% Usually we get a challenge when you're calculating such transactions. 2.5, a third percent. So you simply get your calculator, then you place everything there, then you get the answer. So you simply get 2 times 2, that is 4, plus 1, that becomes 5. So that means our percentage is 5 out of 2%. That's how you can enter it in transaction. If you have not so much advanced calculator, like my phone calculator. So you simply get 5 divided by 2. So the answer you get, still you say divide by 100. So what you get, you multiply it by 8,000. So you get how much? You get a discount of 200 what? Shillings. So our discount we allowed Anita was worth 200 what? Shillings. So how much money is Anita going to pay us? So Anita will pay us 7,008 what? 800 shillings. 7,800 shillings. And because it was by cash, that means our cash column is going to gain 7,008 what? 800 shillings. So that is the amount we received from Anita. Plus the discount, then it goes back to 8,000 shillings. Okay, so you just need to know how do you calculate the discounts. Then how do you post the discounts in the ledger. That's all you need when it comes to the 3-column cash book. Lastly, paid cash into bank. Paid cash into bank. Hope someone is able to remember that transaction. It has been a common transaction as we even look at the 2-column cash book. Paid cash into bank. So what is happening with such a transaction? We paid cash into the bank. So implying that because you are paying out cash into the bank, you are removing money, that is cash, from the business and then taking that money to the bank what? Account. You are getting money out of your business coffers, the safe of the business, then you take that money to the bank what? To the bank account. What is happening? That means that is a contra entry. It is a contra entry, if you remember those contra entries, whereby both cash and bank columns are the same transaction. So money was lost in cash and then bank received the what? The money. That one is a contra entry. So paid cash into the bank still on that date. So that means cash is losing the bank. You put a contra entry sign in the folio column and then you record the amount, which is 8,500. 8,500. Do the same on the opposite side and show that bank is gaining. Bank is gaining from cash, contra entry sign in the folio column. How much amount? 8,500 shillings. 8,500 shillings. So you have completed. You have recorded in your 3-column cash book, capturing the respective discount columns. Capturing the respective discount columns. So after recording, the next move is to balance off your 3-column cash book. Is to balance off the 3-column cash book. And we are going to balance cash and bank the same way we balance the 2-column. The only change comes with the discount what? Columns. For the discount columns, we simply get the totals. So don't balance discount allowed with discount received. No. Simply get the total for the respective discount what? Columns and put it there. So you first skip a line from the list transaction and then you draw these lines where you're going to put your totals. The lower lines are supposed to be 2. Do the same on the opposite side, capturing the amount columns. Must be directly opposite the ones on the debit side, giving us a total of 24,560. 24,560. 24,560. Let's confirm these totals again. It's 6,750 plus 9,310 plus 8,500 plus 8,500, 24,560. So when you look at the totals on the debit and credit, which one is bigger? You realize that the total on the credit is bigger. So the bigger amount is what you put in this this space on both the sides. So you move to your cash columns on both sides and put there 24,560. 24,560. Now move ahead and identify the balance brought forward and the balance carried down and then the balance brought down. Remember, the balance carried down is recorded on the smaller side inside the account on the last date of the month, while the balance brought down is recorded on the first date of the new month outside the account. So because our balance, the bigger amount, is on the credit side, that means the balance brought down is going to be on the crediting side. So you come on the first date of the new month, which is 1st July 2020. 1st July 2020. Then you have your balance brought down. We are going to get the amount by getting the difference. Then the smaller amount, the balance carried down is written on the smaller side. So because our debit was smaller, you see 18,800, then that's where we have our balance carried down inside the account on the last date, which is 30th. Then you say balance carried down. Balance carried down. So to get your balance carried down, you subtract the smaller amount from the bigger amount. That means you subtract 18,800 from 24,560. So you get 24,560, subtract 18,800. 18,800. You remain with a balance of 5,760. You remain with a balance of 5,760. So that is your balance carried down and balance brought down respectively. For the cash column, 5,760. Do the same even for the balance brought down, 5,760. So you have balanced off your cash column. You have balanced off your cash column. Remember, you balanced off the discount columns by getting the totals. Now you have balanced off the cash column. Now you need to move and balance the bank column. Usually we have students cramming that balance brought down for cash has to be on the debit. No. You see this time around, someone who said the question made it a point that the balance brought down appears on the debit side, that you don't cram. You don't cram. Simply get the totals, the bigger amount. If it falls on the debit, then the balance brought down will be on the debit. If the bigger amount falls on the credit, then even the balance brought down will be on the credit. way it appears with our cash book, the cash column. Okay, so now you can move ahead and balance for me the bank column. Move ahead and balance the bank column. So you still follow the same procedures. Simply get the totals of our bank, get the total on the debit, get the total on the credit. So if you add the totals, you have 10,000 plus 6,500 plus 8,500, giving you a total of 25 what? Thousand. Total of 25,000 on the debit. Then go ahead and add the total on the credit side, that is in the bank column. You have there only one amount, which is 6,500. 6,500. So you see that now the debit side is bigger when it comes to the bank column. So you come and record the bigger amount in this space on both sides. So on both sides, you are going to put there 25,000. 25,000. Then go ahead and identify the difference. So either to come up with the balance, brought down and balance carried down. So subtract 6,500 from 25,000 and you remain with a balance of 18,500. So this balance becomes your balance carried down, and also balance brought down. The balance carried down recorded inside the account on the smaller side. The credit side is smaller. So that means our balance carried down is going to be now on the credit side. So you come and write 30th, then you say balance carried down, then you move to the bank column and put there 18,500. Then come to the debit side and record the balance brought what? The balance brought down. Come on the debit side and record the balance brought down. Hope you have already recorded that balance brought down on the debit side on the first date of the new month, which is now July 2020. Then you say balance brought down 18,500. So we have successfully prepared our 3-column cash book, capturing the discount accounts, the cash column, and then the bank column, and then balancing them very well. So if they ask you to prepare a 3-column cash book, this is how you prepare it. Why do you record the balance carried down inside? So that when you add the balance carried down plus the existing amount, then it gives you that total of 25. The same applies when you look at your cash. You add, then you add on the carried down, then it must give you the total of 24,560. So in case you have any question, you forward that question. And then I can see how to address it. So this is our 3-column cash book. Now the next question, you can be required to prepare, open up the discount accounts in the general ledger. Open up the discount accounts in the general ledger. So when they say open up the discount accounts in the general ledger, you are simply going to take the total. You are going to take the total of the discount columns. So I need to grab off, create some space. So you can put the question and say, open up the discount accounts. Open the discount accounts in the general ledger. Open the discount accounts in the general ledger. So you come and say general ledger. So if, for example, you have the discount allowed account, discount allowed account, the sides credit, debit. This is for illustration. Put shillings there, shillings. So if you are recording your discounts, you can also include even the month, which is June 2020, June 2020. So that is the format of your discount allowed account. You don't change the site. You need to observe that. When you're recording in the discount accounts, you maintain the same side on which the account appears. So if the discount allowed appears on the debit side of your 3-column cash book, even when you go to the discount allowed account, maintain the entries on the same what? On the same side. Don't interchange. So you can capture Wilson. So you have a transaction on 2nd. Then you have Wilson 250. Then you pick another person whom you allow the discount on 5th. You allow the discount to Anita 200 shillings. Then you can balance it off. The way we have been balancing the respective ledger accounts. So you simply get the total, which is 450, 450. So you have your balance brought down on 30th. That is for the month. It will be now 1st July 2020. Then you have your balance brought down 450. Get the balance carried down on 30th. Balance carried down 450. So that's how you record in the discount account under the general ledger. Do the same for the discount received. So still maintain the sides. Don't change. Do not change those sides. So you move and then open up the discount received account. So you can change the names and then you record discount received account. So you are going to identify the different people who gave you discount, their respective names, you record them, get the total balance. That. So now you open up the discount received account. So there you have Juliet, 5th, Juliet 190 shillings. That's the only discount received you got. So you can go ahead and balance off discount received account. So you have your 190. So on 1st July 2020, balance brought down 90. Then 30th, loan balance carried down 190. 90. You have opened up your discount accounts. You don't miss out on such marks. If someone is simply telling you copy and just transfer somewhere. You just need to know the principles you follow when you are recording. Okay. Then there is one more aspect to do with the 3 column is how do you record these discounts when you're opening up the relevant ledgers. When you're opening up the relevant ledgers. For example, in the relevant ledgers, you are going to have Wilson's account, Lukia's account, Anita's account. Cash you don't open. You have Musa's account, you have rent account, and then Juliet's account. So how do you record these discounts in the respective what? Ledgers. So you can also illustrate that one. Basically, you're going to look at the discount accounts or transactions that had discounts. The rest of the transactions, you know how to record. Okay, so when it comes to, for example, the transaction on second, received cash from Wilson, less 4% discount. So if you are in the relevant ledgers, and then you have Wilson's what? Account. Wilson's account. Credit, debit. So you have June 2020, and then the units. June 2020. So because Wilson paid you money, that means Wilson lost. So when you go to the Wilson's account, you are going to record on the credit what? On the crediting side of Wilson's account. So you capture the date, which is second. You can right now, you begin with the discount allowed. So you say on second, the discount allowed of 250 shillings. Still on second, open up another item. It was by cash. So you record cash and then you record the amount 6,000. Record the amount. So this is how we record the discounts in the respective personal accounts. For example, the personal account for Wilson. So you are capturing the discount and even the actual amount paid by Wilson. So that when you total, it will go back to the original, which is 6,250. Then you can balance normal. Then get 250. Get the balance point down, get the balance brought down. So you can go ahead and do the same for Anita. For Anita's account. So you maintain this. Because Anita paid us, so that means you're going to record on the credit side of Anita's account. So go ahead, open up Anita's account. So let us open up Juliet's account now. is account, debit, credit. You have your units, the month and the year. Units, month and the year. So because this time around Juliet was paid, that means now Juliet's account is going to be receiving. Because Juliet's account now appears on the credit side of our cash book, when you come to Juliet's account, you're going to record on the debit. Remember the double entry. If one account is gaining, another account is losing. One account is losing, then the other account is gaining. So this time around, Juliet is the one who is gaining. So you come, Juliet, the date was on 5th. Juliet gained a discount. There was a discount received. Received a discount of 190 shillings. She went ahead and paid us cash 9,310. So class, that's how we record in our personal accounts when you open up the relevant ledger accounts. So you get the total, which will take you back to 9,500. 9,500. Get the balance carried down. Which remains 9,500. You then get the balance brought down, which is 9,500 on the first date of the new month. Okay. So that's all we can do when it comes to the 3-column cash book. So you enter the transaction in the 3-column cash book, having the 3 columns on both sides, the discount columns and then the other amount columns for cash and bank. After that, you can be required to open up the relevant ledger accounts, the one we've illustrated. After the relevant ledger accounts, then you can open up the discount accounts in the general ledger. You open up the discount accounts in the general ledger. So, class, that's what we can do under the 3-column cash book. In case you have a question, please forward it. The message you read and then someone can send it to me. So we are going to look at another question. You put it down and then you calculate. You put it down and calculate. Okay, so we can put the question down, get your pen and notebook, then you say, the following transactions were extracted from the books of Rita in March 2000. The following transactions were extracted from the books of Rita in March 2000. Following transactions were extracted from the books of Rita in March 2000. So that opening statement gives you the name of the business, the title of the book will be picked in the question, but then it gives you the period, which is March. So you say for the month of March 2000. So the first transaction says on 1st started business. Started business with cash at bank. With cash at bank, 1 million. 1 million. Then on second, it says bought goods worth bought goods worth 500 shillings cash less 2.5% discount. Less 2.5% discount. Then on sixth, it says sold goods. Sold goods cash to Waswa. Sold goods in cash to Waswa, 40,000. Less 2% discount. Less 2% discount. Then on seventh, says cash sales. Cash sales to date. This should not confuse you. It is simply cash sales. Cash sales to date after deducting 10%. Deducting 10% discount. Oh yeah. Shillings. 300,000. And then on 12, it says received cash from Waswa. Received cash from Waswa by check. Less 10% discount. Then put the amount 500,000. 500,000. Okay. Then on 15th, it says paid Kapere. Paid Kapere by check. Paid Kapere by check. 500,000. Less 5% discount. 5% discount. Then on 16th, bought rulers. Bought rulers by check. Rulers very expensive. Bought rulers by check. Shillings 400,000. Shillings 400,000. Shillings 400,000. Okay, then on 19th, says paid rent. Cash. Shillings 40,000. Then on 23rd, says withdrew money for personal use, for business use. Business use 300,000. Then on 25th says banked cash. Banked cash shillings 100,000. 100,000. And then lastly on 27th says sold goods by check. Sold goods by check shillings 500,000. Shillings 500,000. Then there is sale required. Part A, 3-column cash book. Column cash book. And then B, discount accounts. Discount accounts. A, the general ledger. And if they don't tell you general ledger, they always go for the general ledger. So you state that title on top. The general ledger. So that is another question, class. Yeah, that's another question. So you can try out that one. If you can succeed, that means you are done with your 3-column cash book. You just need to get more examples, so that you master whatever you have, just for mastery. Okay, I believe by now someone can write the title very well. So you should be sure that if you write your title, you are sure of getting that tick if it is awarded. Don't miss out because of a wrong title. So that should be a sure tick for everyone. Okay, so we are dealing with Rita. So the name of the business, Rita. Then you say 3-column cash book. Then for the month of, which month was it? It was March 2000. Now you're done. So you have your debit on one side and credit on the other side. Then you get your columns. You have your date, your details, you have your folio, and then discount what? Discount allowed on the debit side. And then you have your cash and bank. Do the same on the opposite side. You have your debt, details, folio, discount, received, cash, and then bank. Cash and bank, cash and bank. You should master the format. Include your units in the respective amount columns. And then the date, month, and year. This is March 2000. Put the units, and then the units, and then you come and put the month and year. If you can do that, you're just one step away from your success. Because with the wrong format, you cannot get marks. And remember, when you're recording our cash and bank, the cash column appears first, then followed by bank. The order must be maintained, including the discounts. So if you're on the debit, the discount column appears first, followed by cash, and then bank. You're on the credit side, the discount received column appears first, cash, and then bank. Don't interchange. Then you begin with bank, discount received, cash. No. The order must be maintained. That's why it's very important to know the format, the respective format of your 3-column cash book. Okay, let's go through the transactions faster. I know it may not complete, but you can finish up later on. Okay, so the transaction on first day started business with cash at bank. That means our bank column is gaining. It's gaining. So we're going to record on the debit side. And because we are starting business, this time around this is not the brought forward. So you can call it capital because we are starting the what? The business. We can call it capital. So it is 100, it is 1 million. 1 million. So you move on, and then you look at the next transaction, which is on second. On second, bought goods worth 500, cash less 2.5% discount. You bought goods on second, that means you are losing money. So on second, you bought goods, they are worth 500. They go down there buying goods and they say the total is 500. But as they calculate, they say if you pay within the stipulated time, we are giving you a cash discount of 2.5%. So that means you're not going to pay all the 500 when that time comes to pay. So you're going to deduct the 2.5. So you go ahead and calculate 2.5%. So you say 2.5 divided by 100 times 500,000, giving you a total of 12,500. So 12,500. So you have your purchases here. Of the purchases. So the discount is 12,500. That's the discount we received. So now how much money did we actually pay? So you get 500,000 minus 12,500. So you remain with a balance of 487,000. 487,500. So that's the actual amount you paid, having received a discount. Then on 6th, it says sold goods to Waswa less 2% discount. Sold goods to Waswa less 2% discount. Then someone is going to ask here, we have the word sold, which are sales. Then you also have Waswa. So which item, which name are we recording in our details column? Are we recording sales or we are recording Waswa? Class, who can give us the answer? Are we recording sales or Waswa? Which respective account account is affected in this transaction? Sold goods to in cash to what's 40,000 less 2% discount. So the date, at least the date is clear. It is on 6th. It is on 6th. So class, anytime they mention someone's name in a transaction, it's an indication that that transaction is a credit transaction. It is a credit transaction. It is a credit transaction. So in this situation, we are going to capture the name of the data. It's the one you are going to capture, not the sales account. The sales account would have been captured if you sold on cash towards a credit. But even if they say sold goods in cash to what, so at the moment they mention the name, that means that it's a credit transaction. It is a credit transaction. Someone never paid you immediately. So you capture what was what? Account. It's the one we received and first we lost. So it was supposed to be 40,000, but then we allowed WASWA a discount of 2%. So you get 2 divided by 100. 2 divided by 100 times 40,000 times 40,000 is giving me here 800 what? Shillings. So we allowed WASWA a discount of 800 shillings. So when you subtract 800 from 40, you remain with 30 what? 38,200. Because it was by cash, that means the cash column which gained that money. Which gained that money. Let's go back to this transaction. A moment. There is an oversight here, class. Let's read the transaction again. I don't know whether someone had observed it. Sold goods in cash to WASWA 40,000 less 2% discount. Sold goods to WASWA 40,000 cash less 2% discount. Less 2% discount. We sold, yes, WASWA received the goods, already paid, that's 2%. So is there movement of money in this transaction? Who can answer for me that question? Was there movement of money in the transaction? So you check that when you read, because you sold to WASWA, it is a credit transaction. There was no actual movement of money on that particular date of 6th. So on 6th, there is no movement of money. So we are not going to record this transaction for WASWA. Hope someone had observed it also, or we've all recorded. Because it is a credit transaction and we are dealing with a cash what? A cash book, which is now 3 columns. We are not going to record that transaction unless we get a transaction which says WASWA did what? WASWA paid. If WASWA pays us, that's when we record that transaction. Okay? So you put that into consideration. Remember, credit transactions are not recorded in the cash book. Okay, so that one you are going to skip. Then you move to the transaction on 7th, which says on 7th, cash sales. So this one you record. There was no name indicated to date. Cash sales to date after deducting 10% discounts were shillings 300,000. Shillings 300,000. 300,000. Cash sales to date after deducting 10% discount were shillings 300,000. So we have our discount of 10%. 10%. But then they are telling us after deducting 10% discount, we are showing 300,000, implying that when it comes to our sales, the actual amount received is 300,000. The actual amount received is 300,000. But then they are saying we received that 300,000 after giving someone a discount of 10%. After giving this person a discount of 10%. So now, in your calculations, you need to identify what was the original amount in the first place. What was the original amount? So that you can come up with the actual discount given the monetary amount. So if we have 10% as our discount allowed, and then someone ends up paying us 300,000, then what is the original? What was the original amount? What was the original amount? So then you are going to use your mathematics to identify the original amount. Then you select the original amount, let it be y. So if y is our original amount, then that means you have the original amount, which is y, minus the discount, which is 10% of what? Of y. So the original amount, which is y, minus the discount of 10% of y, gives you the amount received, which is 300,000. So you get your notebook and identify the original amount by using this formula. The original amount, if the original amount is y, when you subtract 10% of y, which is the discount, we received how much? 300,000. So when you get the LCM, which is 100, so here you have 1 now. So this will be 100y minus 10y, everything over 100, which equals to 300 what? 1,000. Hope you remember this basic mathematics. So 100y minus 10y remain with 90y over 100, which equals to 3 what? 300,000 equals to 300,000. So you go ahead and get your calculator. So you have your, you can move this and that, or you simply multiply 100 by 300 to save yourself. So you have your 90y, which equals to 300,000 times 100. So 90y equals to 300 times 100. That gives you what? 30. The 30m. Let's check here. Of 100. Yes, 30 millions. Then you divide by 90, divide by 90. So that means your original amount equals to 30 millions. So you can remove this 0 and that 0. So it remains 3 millions. Divide by 9. So you remain with 333 amount is around there, 33. So that is the original amount. Why? That is the original amount. You don't round off when it comes to amounts. You leave the 33. You don't transfer points. In other words, you don't transfer points. So if the original amount is that, and this is not 5, then you leave this 33. Yes.
Just now.
We must have complained because we moved from this side to this side because of the space. So Wembo, you need to follow what I'm saying, but for the benefit even of others, we can repeat it again. We are saying we received how much? We received 300,000. We received 300,000, but they're saying we received this amount after being issued with after giving this person a discount of 10%. So we are trying to investigate what was the original amount so that we can record our value here for the discount. We are trying to look for the original amount. If you allowed someone a discount of 10% and then he ended up paying you 300,000, then you need to investigate what was the original amount before the discount, because you need to come up with the monetary value of the discount, not the 10%. That's why we are creating an assumption and we are saying, let the original amount be Y. Let our original amount be Y. So let Y be the original amount. Let Y be the original amount. So you had your Y, which is the original amount. When you subtract the discount, how much is the discount? The discount is 10 what? 10% of what? 10% of Y. It gives you a balance of 300. So mathematically, here you can now identify Y. So that once you get Y, you subtract this, then you come up with the discount did what? Issued. I don't know where they are clearer there. So you have your 100 as the LCM. That means you have here over 1. So at that stage, you have 100 into 1, which is 100. That becomes 100 what? 100 Y. Hope you are able to see. Then this one will be 1. That remains 10 Y over our 100, which gives equals to 3 what? 300. We are trying to identify the original amount, which we stated as Y. So that becomes 90 Y when you subtract 10 from Y from 100, which equals to 100 times 300, which gives you 30 what? 30 millions. And then divide by 90, divide by 90. We are investigating the original amount so that we get the actual discount. So this one dies off, and then you remain with your Y, which equals to 300. Remember, we got 3, 3, 3, then 333.33. So you are not going to take the decimal points. At most you can only round off, but you round off from 5 and above. So you're going to record it as 333 shillings. This is our original amount. So if the original amount is this, and you received that, that means you are now in position to identify the actual discount given. You are able to get the actual discount. So implying that you're going to subtract the amount received from the original. You're going to subtract the amount received from the original. So now you can come and then you can say, therefore, discount value or discount allowed. Discount markers I've used that. The discount allowed will be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 minus the value we received from that person. So when you subtract 300 from that original amount, remain with 33,333. So this is the amount of discount we are going to record in this column. So you are likely to meet such questions where they have not given you the actual original amount, but they give you the amount you received after deducting. So you need to derive the original amount so that you can come up with the actual value of the discount allowed. So you can use this formula. And you can even derive using another formula, but at least this one is also very direct. You simply let y be the original amount. So y minus the percentage discount of y equals to the amount you receive. Then you start deriving or making y the subject of the formula. So now you can come back and record your discount now of 33,333. If you have a question, please ask. This is the only thing I think I don't wrote out when it comes to the discounts. If you have a question, please ask, then I will give you feedback. Thank you, Wembo. That was Wembo. Yeah. Hey. Thank you, Wembo, for seeking more clarity. So you have your 333 as the discount. And then you have your 3 what? Sorry. 33,333. This was the original. 33,333. Then the actual amount received 3 what? 100. So that when you add that 2, you go back to 333,333. Okay. Let's move on. You can now move on to the next transaction. So the rest of the transaction will be very easy. It's the only transaction we had where you need to identify the original, then you come up with the actual discount. Like that, even the transaction for Waswa, it was the pre-transaction, so we never recorded it here. Then the transaction on trade-off, it says received cash from Waswa. So here now we are receiving. So this one you record because you are receiving money. Receive cash from Waswa. So you come on the debit side. This should be also attentive, otherwise the board markers a bit faint. So you have on trade-off, because you received money, so you have Waswa now. You can record you are receiving money by check 10% discount of 500. So here we are going to calculate 10% from 500. So you have your 500 and then less 10 what? 10%, which is 50 what? 1,000. So your discount here is 50,000. Was by check It was by check. So that means it is the bank which gained. So when you subtract 50 from 500, you remain with 400 what? 450,000. You remain with 450,000. I think that one is clear. It's similar to the ones we have been recording. Then paid by check. Less 5% discount. So this time you are paying out. So that means you are giving out money. You're giving out money. So you come on 15th. This time, if at this stage you are able to record these transactions, even if I tell you go and complete, I'm sure you successfully record. So you have Capere here. You gave Capere, you paid Capere, and then you received a what? A discount of 5%, and 5% of 500,000 is 20 what? 25,000. 5% of 500,000, which is 25,000 discount. It was by check still. So that means you subtract 25 from 500. Then you remain with 475. 475 what? Thousand. 475,000. Okay. You move on. Bought rollers by check. Bought rollers by check. So there you paid out money. So that means you are losing. So you come again on your credit what? On the credit side. Come on the credit side. There were rulers on 16th. So on 16th you have rulers in the details column. Rulers in the details column. It was by check 400,000. 400 what? 1,000. Let's follow the transactions since we all have them. Then the other one says on 19th, paid rent cash. Paid rent cash 40,000. You are still paying out money, so you are losing. So you still go back to your credit side and then you record rent. Because I'm very faint. You record rent. How much was it? 40,000. It was by cash, so the cash column is losing 40,000. Then withdraw money for business use. So you say when you withdraw money for business use, that means the bank account is losing and then the cash account is gaining, and that one becomes a contra entry. Becomes a contra entry on 23rd. You withdraw money, so that means it's a contra entry, cash in the details, and then you put bank. You record in the bank column 300,000. It won't be very clear, so you just need to listen and then you record in your book. So you record 300,000 in the bank column because bank lost money, you withdrew. Then you come on the same date, 23rd, cash gained from bank, write C, the sign to indicate a contra entry. So you record 300,000. Record 300,000. Then the other one, the second last says 25th, banked cash. Banked cash. So you withdrew money from the business and took it to the bank account. So that one is also a contra entry on 25th. In details, bank, because it is the cash which is losing 100,000. You write 100,000 in the cash what? In the cash column, write 100,000 in the cash column. Then you move to the debit side, show that now bank is gaining from cash, is a contract entry still, and then record 100,000 in the bank column. Record 100,000 in the bank column. So that is a contra entry. Then lastly, sold goods by check. You sold goods by check on 27. That means you received money from the sales. You received money from sales, 500,000 by check, implying that bank column is the one that received. The bank column that received. Any question there? The bank column that received. Those were the transactions for that question. So now you can proceed and balance off your what? Your 3-column cash book. Proceed and balance off the 3-column cash book. At least you have already seen how to balance off the 3-column cash book. At this stage, I don't expect anyone to fail how to balance the 3-column cash book. The challenge comes with the discount columns. Don't balance them. That is discount allowed and received. Simply get the totals. So you add the total for the discount allowed, which is 50 plus 33, that is 83. 83, 3, 3, 3. Do the same for the discount received, 25 plus 12, that is 37, 500. So you have balanced off the discount columns. That's how you balance them, by simply getting their respective totals. Cash, bank, that one you know how to balance. Then you go ahead and open the discount what? Accounts in the general ledger. So class, that's what we can share in line with the 3-column cash book. Remember, if you have access to last year's paper, we had the question about the 3-column cash book. So you can get that paper, out that question. If it was your turn, how would you have performed? Would you have scored all the marks on that question? I believe at this time you should be able to get all the marks containing that 3-column cash book. So next time we meet, we are going to talk about the petty. It will be the petty cash book. So have a good afternoon.